Well, hey friends, I'm Melanie. Welcome to Nova Yoga Studio. Welcome to Feel Good Friday. And I think you're gonna like what I got for you today. A flow for happy hips. If you have a block, you can have one near you. If you don't worry about it. All right, so let's start on the mat. And we're gonna start in a seated position. And we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. Now, if you find that you're really rounding and sitting is hard here, you can always prop the hips up on a block. So we're going to find our way onto our sitting bones. The heels can come in towards the groin if that's okay with you. Wrapping up the toes, the ankles, or the shins, sitting up nice and tall. And when you inhale, you're going to lift your knees a little. As you exhale, you'll gently let them release down towards the ground. So just a little butterfly action of the knees here to get us warmed up. Inhale, knees rising, exhale. Knees lowering, and you're not pushing them down, you're just letting gravity take them down. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale, rising. Exhale, letting them go. So we're going to keep the hips as they are, releasing down towards the ground. We're going to wave the spine, so come into a forward fold to deepen this release, this stretch. So inhale, lift your heart, lift your spine. As you exhale, keep reaching through the heart as you bow, as you fold forward. You can relax your head, chin to chest, and then slowly roll on up. So we're going to keep that wave of the spine going as we allow the hips to open. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, bowing forward. 1 more big breath. Inhale. This time you can go ahead, release with a sigh, folding forward. Pause for an extra moment here. You might want to use your elbows to guide your knees a little closer towards the floor, increasing that release. And then rolling on up. Drawing the knees together, and we're going to take it back into our downward dog. So finding your way back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And giving yourself a couple of breaths here. Hands shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart, spread your fingers wide. And we're going to root firmly down into both hands. Arms are strong and straight. We're going to bring the feet together for stability. And then we're going to stretch that right leg towards the sky. Then we're going to bend the knee, open the hip. You might even want to peek underneath that right armpit. And we're going to hold here for a moment. So you're going to channel your inner dog peeing on a fire hydrant. There's not many places you get to do that, so here's your opportunity. You want to feel like your heel, that right heel, is coming back towards your seat. Really peeling and twisting the body open. And then square off your hips, straighten your leg, and the toes touch down. Other side, we're going to lift that left leg up. We're going to bend the knee, open the hip. You can look under your left armpit. Holding for a couple of breaths so that heel, that left heel, is moving in towards your seat. Peeling the body open, 1 more breath. And straighten the legs, square off the hips, toes touch down. Walk your hands back to your feet. Come to the back of the mat. We're going to find our way into a modified version of Malasana or yogic squat. So we're going to lift the heels and sink the hips down between the heels. The arms are at the inside of the knees or up on the toes, fingertips on the mat. So inhale, roll your heart open. Maybe you want to look up. As you exhale, lift your hips to the sky, forward fold, ground your feet, relax your neck and your head. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift your heart. And exhale, fold. Again, inhale. Exhale. And 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And coming down into that modified Malasana again, I'm just going to turn to face you. So you're certainly free to stay here for a couple of extra breaths. You might want to begin to drop those heels down towards the earth. And if you can ground your heels, the toes can turn out or the toes can turn more forward. Pressing your palms together in front of the heart, the elbows can sit at the top or at the inside of the knees. Just make sure that you're not curling in. So think about having the most open heart you can have, Finding all that gorgeous length in your spine, your palms pressed together, your elbows widen the knees. We get that very, very nice hip opening. So you're gonna hold there. I'm just gonna turn back to my position. Take the shoulders onto the back. And then lower your hands down, lift your hips up, and walk your feet in towards parallel. Walk your hands forward, downward dog. Bringing your feet together, take your right leg towards the sky, come back to the hip opening, bend your knee, open up your hip, maybe you gaze underneath the right armpit. You're going to bring your knee in towards your belly, softly step the foot up to meet the thumb. We're going to take warrior one, so back heel grounds. We rise all the way up into the warrior, breath in to come up. And as you exhale, one smooth movement to bind the hands, interlace the fingers behind you, and come forward to your inner knee, inner thigh. We're going to hold for 3 breaths. Working the torso to the inside of the knee. And we also get some shoulder opening as we open up the hips here. And then you're going to take your hands towards the lower back, then release your hands. Then take the hands to the inside of your foot, pivot onto the ball of your back foot, knee lowers down, lizard pose. Create some space for yourself. So walk this front foot out towards the outer edge of your mat. Make sure your knee is back behind your hip. So we don't want the knee stacked right underneath the hip. We want it sliding back so that there's an angle to that thigh. From here, you're going to begin to bend your elbows, melt your chest down. So some of you might find it satisfying to bring the forearms to a block. Some of you might be able to take the forearms right to the mat. Some of you might be in this pose, craving a little bit of something, and you can straighten your back leg. So find where you are in terms of the stages of lizard pose, the hip opener. I'm going to come back to palms on the ground, elbows bent, heart melting down. And then lifting up, push the block out of the way if you've been using it. Walk your front foot back towards center and frame the foot with the hands. Let's step it back into down dog split so the leg rises straight up and back. And let's walk the hands back. We're going to walk them all the way to the back of the mat. And come forward a little bit. We're going to bring that right knee into the chest, come all the way to stand. So we're challenging our balance as we rise. And we're going to move into Buddha pose, which is a hip opener and a balancing posture. So hands to your hips. Bring your ankle to your knee. Keep the foot flexed. Keep that right knee moving away from you. Sit down and back into the pose. So I'm just going to turn to face you so that you can see the action. So that you can see the action of what's going on, how the ankle comes to the knee or to the thigh, the knee moves away from you, that lifted foot is flexed. And then you sit your hips down and back. And that's what's going to give us that real nice hip opening. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Breathe into that release you feel through the outer right hip. And then come up, bring the knee into chest, reach your arms to the sky. Let's seesaw down, hands to the mat. Walk your hands forward, keeping that leg lifted, so down dog split, breathe in. Exhale, bring the knee into the forehead, shoulders over the wrist, core plank. Inhale again, take the leg back in space. Exhale, bring the knee in and up. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, bring the knee in, softly step the foot forward, finding our way into this lunge, knee over the ankle, hips nice and low. So on your inhale, bow your head, round the back, curl in. As you exhale, let your hips drop, look forward, roll the shoulders back, and allow the hips to sink a little deeper. Take that again, inhale. Exhale. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. Lower the back knee down. Roll into the outer edge of your front foot, lizard twist, so the knee moves out to the side. Sweep that right arm behind you so the arm is parallel to the floor, extending from the shoulder. So we get the hip opening, we also get a nice release to the spine. And then coming back around, hand to the mat. Straighten your back leg, curl that right knee into the belly, coil it in, coil it in. And then lower the shin down, pigeon pose. So, if you want to put a block underneath that right sitting bone, you can. Hips are nice and even. Back toes can be tucked under if that's better for your knee. From here, we're going to fold out, or fold over that front shin, coming to the forearms, or the forehead, holding here. Rising up. Press your palms into the mat, curl the back toes under, step back into downward dog. Take a vinyasa, shift forward into plank, lower your way. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. Bring your feet together, take your left leg to the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip. Bring your knee in, softly step the foot forward, rise, warrior one, back heel dropping, lift all the way up. Inhale to rise. Exhale to join the hands behind the back. Come forward to the inner knee, inner thigh, so torso comes forward, left hip hugs in so that it doesn't drift out to the side. Taking your hands to the low back, releasing them down to the inside of your foot, lizard pose, take your back knee to the earth. Walk the front foot out, create some space. Some of you will bend the elbows, release the chest down. Some of you will come to the block, forearms to block. Some of you will bring the forearms right to the earth and maybe even straighten the back leg. Lizard pose, breathe deeply. And again, come back to one of the starting positions here. And rising up, walk the front foot back towards center. Frame the foot with the hands, straighten the back leg. Take your left leg to the sky and walk your hands all the way back to your standing foot. Bring the knee into chest, rise all the way up for Buddha. Hands to your hips, ankle to the knee, sit down and back. Lifted foot is flexed. Left knee moving away from you, sitting down so that we can really begin to open up the outer left hip. Hands can come together in front of the heart. And then rising up, bringing the knee in, reaching the arms high. And we're going to seesaw down, hands to the mat. Walk the hands forward. Inhale. Exhale, pull it in, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale it in. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring the knee in, step the foot forward, find the lunge, knee over the ankle, let your back hip, or let your hips rather, melt into the pose. Inhale, curl it in for a breath. Exhale, let your hips sink, look forward, shine the heart forward. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale. Then plant your palms, or rather plant your right palm, take your back knee to the earth, lizard twist, let that left knee roll to the side. We're rolling into the outer edge of that front foot. Take the left arm back behind you, stretch it back in space. And then coming back around, root the hands down, straighten your back leg, coil that left knee into the belly, pull it in. And then lower your shin, pigeon pose. Front foot is flexed, back leg is in line with your body, hips are even. Coming forward onto your forearms or forehead. And I'd like you to take a few breaths here. And then feel free to take on your day, take on Shavasana, or maybe if your hips are really smiling, you want to try the whole sequence again. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.